Thank you, Presiding Officer. In the midst of this mess are people, as Katie Clark pointed out, people trying to live their lives, work and run their businesses. And it's almost impossible for them to do that with the ferry services that are not working. The Lochboisdale Ferry Business Impact Group looked at the economic impact of losing the Lochboisdale-Malig ferry services for a short period of time. It surveyed businesses regarding to losses and concluded that just during 14 days there was an estimated loss of £658,000 to the local economy with no compensation. That's just 14 days on a route that tends to be first sacrificed when there is disruption. We just have to look at that level of disruption and look at it throughout the whole of the West Coast routes to understand that the economic damage that is being done to fragile island communities. And yesterday we debated depopulation. You need look no further to the reasons why. We want those routes to remain in public ownership, as my colleague Neil Bibby said. We believe that people should come before profit in lifeline services, but that does not mean that we believe that this government is doing a good job. Far from it. The Scottish Government need to confirm that there will be no more expensive tendering processes on these island routes. Years of failure by the Scottish Government are now coming home to roost, and they need to find a workable solution now. There is a drip of scandals of what went wrong with the Aaron Harris US ferry procurement process, which beggars belief, and yet we're no closer to understanding what happened. This procurement needs independent scrutiny into every detail of the process. And Willie Rennie is right. No one is taking responsibility. At best, this is an incompetent government. At worst, it is dishonest. Our amendment talks about the workforce at Ferguson's, and sadly, they too have been let down, as highlighted by Neil Bibby. The government must support the Ferguson's workforce to rebuild their reputation and grow in confidence. What is also unbelievable about all of this is that the government fines CalMac for cancellations and unreliable service, while it is the government itself that is responsible. Maybe they should use some of these fines to compensate businesses and the people facing the cost of these cancellations. Katie Clark said we need urgent action, but the Minister is now saying she cannot act because she needs to consult with islanders. Yet her government failed to consult initially. We all know that islanders wanted smaller, faster boats with more sailings and more flexibility in the fleet, yet they didn't get that. Presiding Officer, there must be an independent inquiry. We have little confidence in this, that the Scottish Government will furnish Audit Scotland with the information they need to investigate. We know in the past that they have withheld information, making it impossible for Audit Scotland to do their jobs. The winter is coming when disruption is at its highest and islanders cannot wait for action. The Minister blames the weather, but frankly it's not the weather, it's the wrong ferry on the wrong route in the winter. This is Scotland after all. We expect bad weather in the winter. What islanders need are good, reliable boats to serve the community so people can work, build businesses and get to family and health appointments. Islanders have suffered too long and this incompetent government needs to act now.
Thank you, Ms Grant. And I now call on Deputy First Minister John Swinney to wind up on behalf of the Scottish Government. Up to 5 minutes.